I'm closing the top on the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throw it blind in my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Tennessee Titans and the New Orleans Saints. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tennessee Titans and the New Orleans Saints. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it with Williams. And some nifty running there. Ultimately, it doesn't get him a whole lot, but it does take him to the 45.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, Daniels. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. They'll begin the drive with Jackson on the ground. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
And an alley to run. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
A Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown. On 2nd down now. It's Jackson. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level. I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Throwing Jones into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10, and he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. Well, not a... Good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First down, Titans, gain of 12. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Daniels under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18 on the ground. This is Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Operating from the gun, Daniels. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's Hester. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Let's make these babies cry.
On 2nd down, it's Jackson, and he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. His first carry of their 2nd drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their 1st drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
Now Jones on 1st and 10. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 10 yards, good for his Saints' 1st down. Throwing on 1st down. Jones on the check down. He finds Kamara. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with it without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, this is Jackson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
Here we go on 4th down. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now it's Breida. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll try the ground game with Jackson. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there, with touchdown number 23 here on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on 4th down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and they converted a second time for 6 points.
No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there, and this will stay a 6-point ball game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too. Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. From the gun, Daniels. And the pressure gets to him again. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
They'll start here with Jackson. And an alley to run. A big seam, and he might go all the way. The 30. 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. With another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his second extra point here in the first half. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Looking to throw on second down. Daniels. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Brett Kern now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. On the return, Hester. 12 yards on the return that time. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. You sure you're ready for the third quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? All right, cool. Let's go. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They run on first down with Jackson. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run again with Jackson. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Watch one. No gain on this defense. No gain. So Mike,
Jones now. From the gun, he'll throw. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
check right. Watching you blind. I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense. 55 to Mike. Check, 55 to Mike.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They'll run it with Jackson. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Again, it's Jackson as he'll stay on the ground. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
Let's go.
He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz will look to add the extra point. So he missed his first two, but this time it's good, and that'll extend the lead. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the third. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, and try and figure out nowhere to escape, and he goes down. This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Daniels. An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game. Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. This is taken at the 23. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt. Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does. He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. They'll run again with Jackson, and he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield. A run for Nick Chubb. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down. A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It'll be a Saints 1st down on the pickup of 13. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast, the linebacker.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Lutz to try to add the PAT. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. That time a 6-play drive, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken at the 3. Out come the Titans now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A quick throw here out to Brown. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Titans on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Daniels. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Back to throw. Daniels. Oh, he's got a little daylight. There he goes, right side. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Now, remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Tennessee offense making their way out onto the field as you take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the #1 or #2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, The teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get. To the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off the draw, here's Williams. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Daniels. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Taking it about the 36. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far.
It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big pickup of 38. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now Jones. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now a give, right side. It's Jackson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it? And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season, as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. On second down, Williams. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. The Titans on 3rd down, as bad as you can be, 0 for 7 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it 4th down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Here's Kamara out of the pistol. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on 2nd down, Jones. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Jones, operating from the gun. Forced out to his left. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. Jones throwing on 4th down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. The sack by Harold Landry, the former Boston College Eagle. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And this defense, they came prepared. He's probably going to be seeing them in his sleep if they don't fix things quickly.
And that's not exactly what he wants to see in his post-game slumber. So they've got to figure out a way to slow things down a little bit. Some screen passes, some draws, anything to make the defensive front hesitate a little bit. Think on their way back to the quarterback, maybe even a quarterback draw, some type of tendency breaker to change things up.
Exactly. Whatever the case, something to mix it up here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Looking to throw. Daniels. The sack there by J.J. Watt. And one of the whistles for timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Here's Brett Kern now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And we'll see what he can do on the return. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it's incomplete. He's still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense is they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for New Orleans, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.